The silent invasion. Humanity had thrived among the stars for nearly 2 centuries. From the first colonies on Mars to the sprawling settlements across 12 star systems, mankind had built a civilization of peace and prosperity. The United Earth Alliance, formed after the resource wars of 2089, had guided humanity's expansion with wisdom and patience. The colonies represented the best of human ingenuity: self-sustaining ecosystems, revolutionary terraforming technology, and societies built on cooperation rather than competition. Commander Sophia Chen stood at the observation deck of the UEA Defender, watching as the ships of the Fifth Fleet conducted their routine patrol near New Eden, humanity's furthest colony. At 42, Chen had earned her command through 2 decades of exemplary service. Her dark eyes, sharp with intelligence, scanned the fleet formations with practiced precision. She ran a hand through her short black hair, streaked with premature gray, a testament to the stress of command. "Status report," Chen requested, her voice cutting through the quiet hum of the bridge. Lieutenant Marcus Torres, her executive officer, stepped forward. "All systems nominal, Commander. Patrol formation beta is complete. New Eden Colony reports all quiet." Torres was young, ambitious, and loyal. Everything Chen valued in an officer. "Good. Let's finish the sweep and head back to." Chen stopped mid-sentence as the sensors officer called out, "Commander, unknown signature detected at the edge of the system." Chen moved quickly to the sensor station. "Classification: nothing in our database, ma'am. It's massive. And it's not alone." The main screen flickered to life, showing a swarm of objects emerging from what appeared to be tears in the fabric of space itself. The vessels, if that's what they were, resembled nothing in human experience. Black, irregular shapes with surfaces that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, moving with unnatural precision. "Hail them," Chen ordered, her voice steady despite the unease crawling up her spine. Communications Officer Patel worked her console. "No response, Commander. I'm not even sure they have communication systems we can interface with. Alert New Eden. Put the fleet on combat footing." Before her orders could be fully implemented, the alien vessels accelerated at impossible speeds. Chen watched in horror as they bypassed the fleet entirely, heading straight for New Eden. "Full pursuit. Alert Earth Command," Chen shouted, but she already knew they would be too late. The communication blackout began 12 minutes later. First New Eden, then Proxima Colony, then Ta City Settlement. One by one, humanity's proudest achievements fell silent. Emergency channels, quantum entanglement communicators, even automated beacons, all went dead within hours of each other. For 3 days, Earth waited in terrified silence. Chen's fleet, along with every available military vessel, was recalled to defend the home system. Then, finally, a transmission broke through. A desperate, fragmented message from the research outpost on Europa Prime. The footage was chaotic. Screams, explosions, fleeting images of the alien vessels hovering above burning cities. Dr. Eliana Rice, the chief researcher at Europa Prime, appeared briefly on screen, blood streaming from a cut above her eye. "They're not just killing us," she gasped. "They're harvesting something. Our technology, our data, maybe even our minds. They insert these devices. Oh God, they're coming. Earth must prepare. They're not just invaders, they're collectors, and humanity is their new specimen." The transmission cut off abruptly. In the silent command center of Earth Defense Headquarters, Admiral Hiroshi Tanaka made his decision. "Activate Project Phoenix," he ordered, his voice heavy with the weight of what that meant. Project Phoenix had been humanity's most closely guarded secret for 3 decades. Born from the ashes of the resource wars, it represented everything humanity had sworn to leave behind: militarization, genetic enhancement, weapons of unimaginable destructive potential. But it had been maintained, hidden away in the depths of Earth's moon, for one purpose: species survival. Commander Chen received her new orders while en route to Earth. She was to divert immediately to lunar base Prometheus and take command of Phoenix Squadron, the first and most elite unit of Project Phoenix. The base was buried deep beneath the lunar surface, accessible only through a single heavily guarded entrance disguised as a mining operation. Chen stepped through security checkpoints, each more stringent than the last, until she reached the central chamber, a cavernous space filled with advanced technology and personnel moving with urgent purpose. Commander Chen, a deep voice greeted her. She turned to face General Isaac Mahama, the project director. "Welcome to humanity's last hope." "I was never informed about this project," Chen said, unable to keep the accusation from her voice. "Few were. Follow me." Mahama led her through the facility, explaining as they walked. Project Phoenix was conceived after we discovered the Arcturus signal in 1949. Most believed it was just random cosmic noise, but a few scientists recognized it for what it was. Proof we weren't alone. "And you assumed they'd be hostile," Chen observed. "We prepared for the possibility," Mahama corrected. "The project has 3 components: advanced weaponry, enhanced soldiers, and the Phoenix Protocol itself." They stopped before a massive hangar door. Mahama pressed his palm to a scanner, and the doors slid open to reveal a fleet of ships unlike anything Chen had ever seen. Sleeker, deadlier than standard UEA vessels, they gleamed under the harsh lights. "These are Firebird-class destroyers," Mahama explained, "equipped with gravity displacement drives, quantum shielding, and weaponry derived from principles we don't fully understand ourselves." "And the enhanced soldiers?" Mahama's expression darkened. "Volunteers, all of them. The enhancements are extensive: increased strength, reflexes, cognitive processing. Some volunteered after losing everything in the resource wars. Others were just patriots willing to become something more than human to protect humanity." Chen felt a chill. "And the Phoenix Protocol?" "That," Mahama said quietly, "is something I pray we never have to use. It's our final option, a weapon that could destroy not just our enemies, but potentially reshape the very nature of space in this region of the galaxy." Before Chen could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. A voice came over the intercom. "Alert! Unknown vessels detected entering the lunar orbit. Defense systems engaging." Chen and Mahama rushed to the command center. The screen showed what they'd feared most. The alien vessels had found Earth. "How?" Chen demanded. "How did they get through our outer defenses so quickly?" "They didn't break through," a technician reported. "These are new arrivals, different from the ones that hit the colonies." Chen studied the tactical display. "They're scouts. The main force is still out there, dealing with our colonies. These are just testing our defenses." "Then let's show them what they're up against," Mahama said grimly. "Commander Chen, Phoenix Squadron is yours." Within 30 minutes, Chen was in the cockpit of the lead Firebird destroyer, the UEA Phoenix Rising. Her squadron, 12 ships crewed by the enhanced soldiers Mahama had described, formed up around her. She could feel the difference in the ship's response, more immediate and fluid than any vessel she'd piloted before. "Phoenix Squadron, this is Commander Chen. These invaders hit our colonies without warning, without mercy. Today, we show them that was their first mistake. Their second mistake will be assuming we're defenseless. Target the scouts only. We need to learn what we're dealing with before the main force arrives." The Firebirds accelerated at speeds that would have crushed unenhanced humans. Chen felt the pressure even through the inertial dampeners, and wondered briefly what her enhanced crew members experienced. The alien scouts, 5 of them, altered course to intercept. "Weapons hot. Target their propulsion systems if possible. We need intelligence more than kills right now." The first engagement between humanity and what would later be called the Voidborn lasted exactly 8 minutes and 17 seconds. 3 alien scouts were destroyed outright. 1 was disabled and captured, and 1 escaped back into the darkness of space. As the disabled vessel was towed back to lunar base Prometheus, Chen couldn't help but feel a grim satisfaction. The aliens had struck without warning against peaceful colonies. They'd encountered no real resistance. Until now, they had no idea what humanity was capable of when threatened. They had awakened something ancient and terrible in the human spirit, the will to survive at any cost. The true war had just begun, and Chen knew it would be unlike anything humanity had ever faced. But looking at her squadron, the ships, the technology, the enhanced soldiers ready to fight, she also knew something else. Attacking Earth's colonies had been the Voidborn's gravest mistake. Humanity unleashed. The captured Voidborn scout vessel hung suspended in the massive containment chamber of lunar base Prometheus. Teams of scientists in hazard suits swarmed around it, scanning every inch of its strange surface. Commander Sophia Chen watched from the observation deck, her arms crossed tightly across her chest. "What have we learned?" she asked Dr. Vikram Sharma, the lead xenotechnologist assigned to the project. Sharma removed his glasses, wiping them nervously on his lab coat. "It's remarkable, Commander. The vessel appears to be partially organic. Living metal, for lack of a better term. And it doesn't use conventional propulsion. It seems to fold space around itself. And the crew, dead on impact. Their biology is unlike anything we've encountered. They appear to have evolved in an environment with extreme radiation and pressure. No eyes as we understand them, but sensory organs that likely perceive gravity waves and electromagnetic fields." Chen nodded slowly. "Weaknesses. They seem highly sensitive to certain frequencies of light, particularly in the ultraviolet spectrum. Their ship systems showed significant disruption when exposed to our quantum phase torpedoes. And there's something else." Sharma hesitated. "Go on." "They appear to function as a collective. We found neural tissue integrated with the ship's systems. They're not just piloting these vessels. They're partially melded with them." Chen's mind raced with the tactical implications. So targeting their communication systems might be more than just cutting off their coordination. It could psychologically damage them. "Precisely," Sharma agreed. "But Commander, there's something troubling in their data cores. From what we've translated, they don't consider us sentient. They categorize us as resource nodes or data clusters, like we're some kind of technological infection in their universe." Chen's jaw tightened. "Then we'll have to convince them otherwise." Over the next 72 hours, humanity prepared for war with an efficiency born of desperation. The United Earth Alliance mobilized every ship, every soldier, every resource. Colonial defense forces that had escaped the initial onslaught regrouped at designated rally points. Project Phoenix, hidden for decades, now operated in full view, its advanced weaponry distributed to the fleet. Admiral Tanaka called an emergency meeting of all command staff. The holographic conference room in Earth Defense Headquarters filled with the images of fleet commanders, colonial governors, and research directors. "The Voidborn main fleet will reach our solar system in approximately 6 days," Tanaka began without preamble. "Our analysts predict they will target Earth directly. They want our technology, our data, and possibly our genetic material." "How many ships?" asked Admiral Leonov of the European Space Defense Force. "Over 200, based on long-range scans. More than twice our combined fleet strength." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. However, Tanaka continued, "Commander Chen's Phoenix Squadron has provided us with crucial intelligence. Dr. Sharma, please explain our findings." As Sharma detailed the Voidborn weaknesses, Chen studied the faces of her fellow commanders. Fear, determination, anger, but notably absent was despair. Humans had always been at their most dangerous when cornered. When Sharma finished, Chen spoke up. "We've modified our weapons to target their vulnerabilities. The Firebirds have been equipped with UV spectrum energy cannons and quantum phase disruptors. But we need more than just Phoenix Squadron. We need a coordinated strategy that maximizes our strengths." "What do you propose, Commander?" Tanaka asked. Operation Thunderstrike, Chen replied, activating her tactical display. A three-pronged approach. First, we use our stealth vessels to deploy quantum mines along their predicted approach vector. Second, we position our main fleet behind Jupiter, using its gravity well to mask our presence. When the Voidborn fleet commits to their attack on Earth, we strike from behind. And the third prong, Admiral Leonov asked. Chen's expression hardened. I take Phoenix Squadron directly to their command vessel. We board it, capture their leadership, and force a surrender. Murmurs broke out across the holographic conference room. That's a suicide mission, someone protested. No, Chen replied firmly. It's the only way to end this quickly. Our enhanced soldiers can withstand environments that would kill normal humans. The Voidborn won't expect a direct assault. They don't consider us worthy opponents. After hours of debate, Operation Thunderstrike was approved. The combined fleets of humanity began moving into position. Chen returned to lunar-based Prometheus to prepare Phoenix Squadron for what might be their final mission. She found her XO, Lieutenant Torres, reviewing the boarding plans with the enhanced soldiers of Phoenix Squadron. They looked human at first glance, but subtle differences became apparent upon closer inspection. Eyes that moved too quickly, postures too perfectly controlled, voices too precisely modulated. Commander on deck, Torres called out, and the room snapped to attention. At ease, Chen said. How are the preparations coming? We're ready, Commander, Torres replied. The boarding pods have been equipped with the UV spectrum disruptors. Team assignments are complete. Chen nodded, then addressed the assembled soldiers. In 48 hours, we will be engaging an enemy that has slaughtered our people without mercy or hesitation. They believe we are beneath them, resources to be harvested, rather than a civilization to be respected. They attacked our colonies thinking we would crumble. Her voice grew harder. They were wrong. She paced slowly before them. Each of you volunteered for the enhancements that made you what you are today. You sacrificed your normal lives to become humanity's shield. Tomorrow, you will become humanity's sword. Remember what we're fighting for. Not just survival, but the right to exist as we are, to determine our own destiny among the stars. The enhanced soldiers stood tall, their expressions resolute. Chen felt a surge of pride mixed with sorrow. What humanity had done to these volunteers wasn't pretty, but it might be necessary for survival. Get some rest, she finished. Tomorrow we show the Voidborn why attacking Earth's colonies was the biggest mistake they could have made. The Voidborn fleet arrived exactly as predicted, emerging from what appeared to be tears in space at the edge of the solar system. As they approached Earth, the quantum mines detonated, tearing apart 17 of their smaller vessels. The rest continued forward, apparently undeterred by the losses. Chen watched from the Phoenix Rising as the alien armada approached. Their ships moved in perfect formation, less like individual vessels, and more like cells in a single organism. Main fleet reports ready, Commander, Torres said from his station. They're in position behind Jupiter. Good. Prepare jump coordinates for the Voidborn command vessel. As soon as the main fleet engages, we make our move. The tension on the bridge was palpable as they watched the Voidborn fleet approach Earth. Defense satellites fired, destroying several more alien ships, but the massive armada pressed on. Then, as they committed to their attack vector, Admiral Tanaka gave the order. All ships, execute Operation Thunderstrike. The human fleet burst from behind Jupiter, engines flaring bright against the darkness of space. Enhanced with Project Phoenix technology, the ships moved with unprecedented speed and precision. Energy weapons lashed out, specifically calibrated to the frequencies that would cause maximum damage to the Voidborn vessels. The aliens, caught between Earth's defenses and the attacking fleet, scrambled to reposition. Their perfect formation broke as they divided their forces to deal with the unexpected threat. That's our cue, Chen said, her voice calm despite the chaos unfolding on the tactical displays. Jump coordinates locked. All Firebirds, Prepare for micro-jump. Boarding teams, stand by. The 12 ships of Phoenix Squadron vanished in flashes of light, reappearing moments later in the heart of the Voidborn fleet. Before them loomed the command vessel, a massive structure twice the size of the largest human battleship, its surface rippling with what looked like dark energy. All ships, commence attack pattern Omega. Boarding pods, launch when ready. The Firebirds danced through enemy fire with impossible agility, their enhanced pilots pushing the ships beyond what should have been physically possible. Chen felt the Phoenix Rising shudder as it took a glancing hit. Shields at 70%, Torres reported. Boarding pods away. Chen watched as the small, heavily armored pods shot toward the command vessel. Keep their attention on us. Those pods need to reach their target. The Phoenix Squadron fought with desperate intensity, drawing fire from the command vessel as the boarding pods approached. 3 of the Firebirds exploded in brilliant flashes, their crews sacrificing themselves to protect the mission. When the last boarding pod attached to the alien vessel, Chen gave her final order. All ships, fall back to minimum safe distance. Maintain covering fire for the boarding teams. The surviving Firebirds pulled back, still engaged with the enemy fighters swarming around them. Chen activated the direct neural link to the boarding teams, another enhancement that allowed real-time communication with the soldiers. Team leaders, report status. Alpha team in position, came the first response. Heavy resistance but advancing toward what appears to be a central chamber. Beta team securing engineering section. These systems are unlike anything we've seen, Commander. Gamma team, taking heavy casualties. The environment inside is challenging. Chen closed her eyes briefly, feeling each death through the neural link. Press forward. We need control of that ship. For the next 20 minutes, she directed the boarding operation from the Phoenix Rising, guiding the teams through the alien vessel with the help of real-time data fed through their neural implants. All around them, the main battle raged as humanity's combined fleet fought with everything they had. Commander, Torres called out suddenly, the Voidborn ships are changing formation. They're clustering around the command vessel. Chen studied the tactical display with growing concern. They're protecting it. They know what we're doing. Inside the command vessel, Alpha Team finally reached what appeared to be the central control chamber. Through their neural feeds, Chen saw a vast, pulsating space filled with what looked like organs as much as technology. We've located what appears to be their central neural node, the team leader reported. Setting up the device now. The device was humanity's most radical creation, a quantum phase disruptor designed to separate the Voidborn consciousness from their technology. In theory, it would sever the link between the aliens and their ships without killing them outright. Warning, Torres interrupted. Energy buildup detected in the command vessel. They might be preparing to jump. Chen made her decision instantly. Alpha Team, activate the device now. It's not fully calibrated, Commander. If we activate it now, the feedback cold. That's an order. Chen snapped. Do it now, or we lose everything. Through the neural link, she felt the team leader's resignation as he initiated the sequence. The effect was immediate and catastrophic. The command vessel convulsed, its surface rippling violently as the connection between the Voidborn consciousness and their technology was forcibly severed. Chen felt a wave of agony through the neural link as the feedback overwhelmed the enhanced soldiers' systems. One by one, the links went dark as the boarding teams succumbed to the psychic backlash. Commander, Torres shouted, we're detecting a cascade failure in the command vessel. It's going to. The explosion was silent in the vacuum of space, but the shockwave hit the Phoenix Rising with devastating force. Chen was thrown from her seat as consoles exploded around her. Through the pain and confusion, she registered one crucial fact. The remaining Voidborn ships had stopped attacking. They drifted aimlessly, their coordination shattered by the destruction of their command node. Hours later, in the medical bay of the UEA Defender, Chen regained consciousness. Admiral Tanaka stood by her bed, his uniform scorched and torn. "Report," she managed, her voice a hoarse whisper. "Victory, Commander," Tanaka said, his expression a mixture of exhaustion and wonder. When their command vessel was destroyed, the entire Voidborn fleet went dormant. "We're boarding them now. The creatures inside are disoriented, almost catatonic. Casualties." Tanaka's face darkened. "Heavy. We lost 40% of our fleet. Phoenix Squadron. Only 2 Firebirds survived. None of the boarding teams made it out." Chen closed her eyes, feeling the weight of each lost life. "The colonies? We've sent ships to search for survivors. Early reports indicate the Voidborn left many structures intact. They were more interested in data and technology than physical destruction." Chen nodded slowly. "And the Phoenix Protocol?" "Unnecessary, thankfully," Tanaka replied. "Your mission succeeded, Commander. Humanity has survived." In the weeks that followed, humanity began the long process of rebuilding. The damaged colonies were resettled, the dead were mourned, and the captured Voidborn technology was studied with cautious fascination. The aliens themselves, separated from their collective consciousness, were placed in specialized containment facilities for study and potential communication. 1 month after the battle, Chen stood on the observation deck of the newly commissioned UEA Phoenix, staring out at the stars. Her injuries had healed, but she still felt the phantom presence of the enhanced soldiers in her mind, an echo of the neural link that had connected them in their final moments. "Commander," Torres greeted her, approaching with a tablet in hand. He had survived the battle, though not without scars of his own. "The Council has approved your proposal. Project Lighthouse will begin immediately." Chen nodded. The Voidborn had come from somewhere, and they might not be the only threat lurking in the darkness between stars. Project Lighthouse would establish a network of early warning systems throughout known space, along with rapid response fleets equipped with the technology salvaged from the alien vessels. "We were lucky this time," she said quietly. "We had Project Phoenix in reserve, hidden away despite decades of peace. Next time, we'll be ready from the start." Torres hesitated. "Do you think there will be a next time?" Chen turned to face him, her expression resolute. "Of course. The universe is vast and full of wonders, Lieutenant, but not all of them will be friendly." She looked back at the stars. "We've earned our place among them now. We've proven that humanity won't go quietly into the night." As the UEA Phoenix accelerated toward distant stars, carrying the seeds of humanity's new defensive network, Chen reflected on the price they had paid. The enhanced soldiers, the colonists, the fleet crews, all sacrifices on the altar of survival. But they had won more than just survival. They had won respect. Word would spread. Other species would learn what happened to the Voidborn when they underestimated humanity. They would learn that peaceful does not mean weak, that patience does not mean vulnerability, that humanity's greatest strength lies not in technology or numbers, but in the unbreakable will to endure. Attacking Earth's colonies had indeed been the Voidborn's gravest mistake, because now humanity was awake, and the galaxy would never be the same again.